This is a story about basic underwater demolition SEAL training and deals with one problem while at San Clemente during the final 3 weeks of training. The title of the story, The Swim That Didn't Happen. The final 3 weeks of BUDS training are spent at San Clemente, an island in the Pacific Ocean 100 kilometers northwest of San Diego. The island, controlled by the Navy, is isolated and therefore a perfect location for pulling together all that we had been previously taught in BUDS. Civilians are prohibited, and the only living creatures I can remember seeing on the island were wild goats. This was a place where Naval Air practiced live bomb runs and where we were able to fire weapons, use all types of explosives, blow obstacles, and literally raise hell without worrying about killing anyone other than ourselves. Now, most people think the hardest part of training is Hell Week, but they are sadly mistaken. San Clemente is hell times 3 weeks. During this final phase of training, you are given 3 problems a day, and each must be successfully completed in a prescribed time frame as determined by the instructors. Problems consist of loading and blowing obstacles, sneak and peek operations, land navigation, long ocean swims across kelp beds, and the list goes on and on. Now, if you fail to complete, say, the morning problem to the instructor's satisfaction, then you must repeat that problem in the afternoon. That then pushes the afternoon problem to night, and the night to late night, and so on and so on. Although you don't know it at the time, it is literally impossible to finish a problem to the instructor's satisfaction. But that is the way they had planned it. By day 2, we were backed up, and by week 2, we were doing problems one after another, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we were still unable to catch up. This is not unlike Hell Week, except for the fact that Hell Week lasted only 1 week. By the end of the second week, everyone was exhausted. Even this near the completion of training, men were still quitting the program. Hard as that was to imagine, some just couldn't take anymore, and that was what the instructors had intended to find out. To quit now is one thing, but to quit in combat could cost lives, and that is unacceptable. One night, toward the end of week 3, we were ordered to report to a beach that was located near our compound. It was raining, windy, and cold. A truly miserable night for trainees, but one made to order for the instructors. We had been staging for a makeup problem, so we wondered why the sudden change. One of the instructors ordered us to form a straight line and to remove all of our clothing. We looked at each other and did what we were ordered to do. The instructor then said he would return shortly, ordered us to stand at attention, and left. 10, then 15 minutes went by, still no instructor, and by this time we were freezing. Finally, after 20 minutes, 2 instructors returned and told us that there had been a change in plans. For several minutes, the instructors paraded around 40 half-frozen trainees and then ordered us to swim naked around a small island that rests on the water about a half a mile offshore. It wasn't really an island, but rather a large rock and a prominent landmark of San Clemente, commonly referred to as Bird Shit Rock. The rock is inhabited by birds, and the bird droppings over time have turned it white, thus giving it the name. Now try to imagine 40 men shivering and trying to comprehend what had been ordered. Some actually broke down and cried. 2 decided they had endured enough and quit the program, and the rest awaited the order to proceed. In an exercise of this nature, the instructor translates orders by means of a whistle. 1 blast from the whistle means go, 2 means stop, and 3 means return to the beach. Then a single blast from the whistle and the instructor shouting, "What are you waiting for, ladies?" When everyone was in the water, we heard 2 blasts from the whistle and stopped. What we heard next was one of the sweetest sounds I could remember hearing during those 3 weeks at San Clemente. 3 blasts from the whistle. We returned not knowing what would happen next. The instructors then told us we had 2 minutes to get dressed and said that if we took 1 second longer, we would complete the swim in our clothes. Now dressed and still wondering what was happening, we were told by the instructors to assemble in front of a wooden frame structure covered by a tent that was used as our mess hall. We were ordered to stand there at attention as the instructors walked around back. Suddenly the door swung open, and as our eyes adjusted to the light, spread out before us was a meal fit for a king. We were then ordered to enter and enjoy. In utter disbelief we stood there. This was unlike anything that had happened to us during training, and we weren't sure what to do. We soon found out that the gesture was real, and we went in and enjoyed one of the best and most appreciated meals that I have ever eaten. We had passed yet another test. Yes, we would have made the swim. The instructors didn't question that. This reward was given not for passing this test alone, but for passing all of the other tests given throughout training. During training, when a person quits the program, he is immediately distanced from other classmates, never to be seen again. He is then reassigned to the regular Navy and another fleet assignment. Now, as I said in the warm mess hall, I couldn't help but think about the two men who had dropped out of training only hours earlier. I wondered what they would have thought had they known that they would forever be remembered for refusing to make the swim that didn't happen. As for Buzz, Class 28, my class, we would soon complete training and take our place in the teams. If you enjoyed this story and would like to purchase a signed copy of my book, go to www.udt-seal-stories.com. If you prefer the Kindle version, go to amazon.com, books, and type in Nick Nicholson. Thank you.